this is your first time hearing this music, you probably have been living under a rock. And I was too for a very long time, until I discovered Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake for the Nintendo Switch. That's right, guys, this will be a full-on review of Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake, and I'm going to go ahead and do a deep dive about this game and if you should pick this game up. Without further ado, guys, this is King Piccolo Z here. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate all the likes, the views, all the subs I've been getting lately. You guys are awesome. Just wanted to take some time to appreciate you and shout you guys out for all the views on my videos and all the attention my channel is getting. Thank you guys very, very much. Alright, let's jump into the deep dive, and that is the Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm honestly not the biggest fan of JRPGs, but can I tell you without a doubt, this is the one of the best JRPGs that I have ever played in my entire life. I really don't have a whole lot of experience with JRPGs for the most part. I have played Chrono Trigger, I've played Final Fantasy back in the day. I beat Final Fantasy 1, I played 3, but I never beat it. And then I picked up 7, and I never beat it. I do like JRPGs, I don't have anything against them, but playing Dragon Quest HD 2D, Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake really just opened up my eyes to the JRPG world. The only newest one that RPG that I played recently was Octopath Traveler, and please let me tell you, this game blows Octopath Traveler out of the water. And I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of reasons why that is. Okay, first off, we gotta start with the score. The OST is phenomenal. The music and the score is done by Tokyo Metropolitan Symphony, and let me tell you, it is unlike anything I've ever heard, in a video game as far as JRPGs are concerned. It totally sets the mood. It totally matches the time frame and the setting of the game. It like I said, it's so good that I can't even compare it to anything. It is by far one of the best scores I've ever heard in JRPGs. It is actually done by Tokyo Metropolitan Symphony, and it really reminds me of sort of like a medieval, Old English, Victorian era. And like I said, it takes you to a place of video gaming where you don't want to stop. And when you play a game and you don't want it to end, you've got a good product. Alright, secondly, let's go ahead and get into the story and questing. You play a hero by the name of Erdrick, and you are a child of a legendary warrior called Ortega, and you're summoned by a king of a city on his 16th birthday to continue the quest that their father has laid to you. You and 3 other party members embark on an adventure to defeat an archfiend called Baramos and Zoma to save the world. Yes, this is a traditional, JRPG story. However, the elements that make up this story is quite unlike stories that I have ever played before. So it is refreshing, it is fresh, and like I said, this is the remake, so it is fresh to me. And if you played a bunch of JRPGs, the story is probably, on par with whatever you have played before. It's just the standard villain takes over the world or is trying to take over the world, and you have to defeat him. However, they make it very, very palatable. They make it very intriguing, and for first time JRPG players, such as myself, it is very fun and refreshing to see that kind of story. All right, let's talk about difficulty, of course, and bossing. Difficulty is the game can be very unforgiving at times if you don't level, if you don't do your due diligence in fighting almost every group that comes your way. It's basically like Final. If I could do, attribute it to something, I would say it's on par with something like Final Fantasy 1, 2, all the older ones. If you are skipping battles, and you're not leveling up your characters or over leveling your characters, you're gonna have a tough time, and then the game is not gonna be fun at all, because then you're gonna be struggling and struggling for hours just to beat, normal enemies, which should just take you maybe once or two times, and then you have to grind to over level at a certain point, and you're basically gonna reach a wall where you're not going to be able to proceed. And we will take a look at some of the bosses as well. Some of the bosses that really gave me the most trouble. Robin Hood, he gave me a little bit of trouble. It took me a few times to beat him, and I don't know if that's just because me learning the boss and learning the mechanics of the game and everything like that, because it was one of the first bosses that are introduced in Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. Let me tell you, Baramos and Zoma and the King Hydra gave me, of course, the most difficult trouble. My party was anywhere from, I want to say, 40 to 45, and I still had difficulty. The bosses are fun. The monsters are fun to to face. They've got status effects, of course. They'll put spells on you. They will heal each other's um, team members, and it could be very difficult if you're not leveled correctly, or if you don't select the right party, which we will get into that in a bit. So I feel like the bosses are very fun. The monsters are fun, and yeah, let's go into monster hunting and monster arena. All right, so monster hunting is a very, very important part of the game. Monster hunting will allow you to capture monsters that are either in the um, they are in the overworld, or they are in caves, and they are in trees, caves, dungeons, hideouts. And it's very, very pivotal that you make this a priority, because what you're going to be doing is running into what's called the Monster Arena. Monster Arena is where you hire these monsters to be placed on a team, and that you can battle other monsters with your monsters that you have caught. It's kind of like Pokemon, just about. And it is very fun. You definitely want to be getting all the. You will definitely want to be wrangling all the monsters that you can, and you should be actively seeking to rescue and monster hunt throughout the video game. Reason why is because they offer you a bunch of money and a lot of items when you beat the monster arena levels. You get a lot of coins. You've got a lot of good items that you can use towards your main story, and some of the items you cannot get anywhere else. Another reason why you're going to want to participate in monster arenas is because during the latter monster arena battles, they are going to give you a lot of gold, and I mean a lot of gold, somewhere in the hundreds of thousands of gold, and you are going to definitely need that when you're upgrading your character's gear, weapons, getting items, and that is going to be a very pivotal opportunity for you to get money, so you can keep up to date with your gear and your items and armor. All right, next thing up is a list of classes and jobs and vocations of characters you can either hire or choose from. First off is, of course, the hero. He's versatile. He's great for offense and defense. And he knows a lot of great abilities, of course, is what you start off with. And you can choose to put different personalities on all these characters, and vocations make them stronger. Um, it'll change their stats, and overall, you just have to look up guides what personalities will go best with which character. There's a sage, which of course is the mage. Um, and they upgrade from the priest class. There is a stone or book that you can read that will turn your mage into a sage, which I highly recommend that you have a sage on your team. It's going to heal, it's going to cast spells, and it's going to be a pivotal character, a pivotal class that you need to keep on your party at all times. The next is the thief. Thief is really great. Monster Wrangler, of course, it's in the title, Monster Wrangler. Monster Wrangler has a ability to wrangle monsters, and some monsters can only be rescued by the Monster Wrangler. Uh, and there are certain types of items like musk that you need in order to wrangle monsters as well. Some of them will run away if you have if they notice your footsteps, so that's why you need a thief or monster wrangler, so that way you can wrangle certain monsters. Also, certain monsters do spawn um, in night. Some spawn in the morning, and some are only available at dusk. So that is something also I wanted to mention about the monsters. You have a warrior, which I recommend warriors as well. High HP and attack, excellent front line, and they have low speed. Um, we did go over the mage. It's the starting character before you get to the sage. A priest is also a good character for beginners. A merchant, and then there's also a gadabout, which you can use that to turn into a sage class as well. And lastly, the martial artist, which is high attack, power, and speed. Has the highest critical rate. But it's most difficult at early levels. So I went with, and this is not a recommendation, but this is something that worked well with me. I used the hero, of course. I used a warrior. I turned my mage into a sage, and then I had a martial artist. So I think those four really benefited me. And you can play around with different classes to see what you like. The good thing about this game is at any time during your gameplay, you can hire and fire different classes, and you can pick up one at a moment's whim. You just have to go to one of the towns, and that you have to swap out your characters, give them a name, all that good stuff. Next thing, mini medals. You're going to want to collect all the mini medals you can. Mini medals are placed strategically all around the towns and dungeons and overworlds. Wherever they are, just get them, please. Make it a priority to get mini medals. You turn your mini medals into the mini medal character, and they will give you items based on how many you give them. So make it a priority to get mini medals, and you won't be disappointed. They give you lots of great items, a lot of great armor and weapons, and do the mini medals so you won't be disappointed. All right, last but not least, something I wanted to cover is voice acting. Dragon Quest III HD2 Remake has fantastic voice acting. I don't know, I doubt the original one had any voice acting. I have not played any of the old ones. Wink, wink. Um, the voice acting is really great. It doesn't sound cheesy. It doesn't sound cheap. They didn't skimp on the voice acting, but I feel like the voice acting is really done well. And for that alone, for one of those reasons alone, this game is just it. A lot of games they don't do voice acting, especially for old JRPGs. And I am so glad that they did voice acting because it sounds really good. Last but not least, finally, the overworld, the visuals, the towns, the landscapes, the dungeons. They're just so well done. It makes turning on the game a joy for me, because seeing different towns, different dungeons, different landscapes. You can you can get a ship. Little spoiler alert: you can get a ship and you can travel, and you can get different areas. It's just everything that they've done visually. It makes sense from the way the towns are set up. Uh, you've got um, you've got inns in almost every town. You've got shops in almost every town. You've got stores for purchasing um, really very important items in almost every town. So I think they did a phenomenal job in creating the atmosphere, creating the towns, the landscapes, and everything looks fresh. It looks vibrant. The colors are just amazing. Like I said, it goes way well beyond the quality of Octopath Traveler. If you've played Octopath Traveler, um, so that's pretty much my full on review of Dragon Quest III HD2 Remake, guys. Should you pick this game up, it is by far, like I said, one of the best games I've ever played for JRPG game. So, what do I give this game? I think, if I'm being honest, I think this is most possibly the one of the best games I've ever played, and that's for like take turn games, JRPG games. I put it on top. So I recommend this game would get a 10 out of 10 certified by King Piccolo Z. If you guys have not picked up this game, please, I highly suggest you pick up this game because it is phenomenal and you will not regret it. And the thing is, I put like 80 plus hours into this game, and if I'm putting anywhere more than 60 hours into a game, I'm enjoying it. And just looking at like the trailer even now as I speak, and everything that you are able to do, it's worth your money. And I purchased this game when it was on when there was no sale, when it was full price, 59.99. I shelled out for Dragon Quest 3, and guess what? I would pay 59.99 again for it. That's just because I fell in love with this game. I couldn't wait to play it. Um, Everything about this game oozes nostalgia for me, right? And that's something we all long for. That's something almost all of us, want to go back to. That joy of playing video games again, to be impressed for the very first time. The first time of seeing something, of this great quality really takes your breath away, and you really just appreciate the art, the effort that was put in, the music that's behind it, the story that pulls you in and makes you want to play more, the customizability that goes along with characters and classes and everything that makes a great game. And most lastly, I know I said lastly, but most of lastly, Akira Toriyama. Akira Toriyama is the character designer, and we all know Akira Toriyama for being famous for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. This man has revolutionized anime and manga and character design, um, and he will be very, very sadly missed because he was a legend in his own right. He produced Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, did character design for Dragon Quest games, and you can see the similarities where some of the characters look like Goku, some of the characters look like Trunks, or vice versa. Whatever was pulled from which game to fit the other one. But guys, if you have not played Dragon Quest 3, I am out of breath right now, as you can tell. Please, please pick it up. And guys, I have one more surprise for you guys, so just stick around one moment, please. Thank you. All right, guys, if you have stuck around this far, thank you very much. I did want to do a quick surprise for you guys. It is actually a unboxing. So thank you guys again so much for all the time that you spent listening to me uh, talk about Dragon Quest HD 2D Remake number 3. And without further ado, I want to show you guys uh, the case, of course, for 3, which I did purchase. Um, it does not have any artwork, which I'm kind of disappointed about, but of course, you have the front and the back. However, they did something extra with this game. That's right, Dragon Quest HD Remake 1 and 2 has artwork, which I am very excited to show. Let me go ahead and unbox this real quick for you guys. All right, here we go. There is Dragon Quest HD 2D Remake 1 and 2. And as you can see, it's got beautiful artwork. They did way more than what they did with the third one, and I love the old retro artwork. And as you can see, this character right here kind of resembles Goku, which is actually really cool. You've got the Dracula right here, which resembles the character in Dragon Ball. And it's phenomenal artwork. I love it. It's something I wish they would have done with three. But I did want to show that to you guys real quick. So, since I picked up three, I loved it so much. I picked up to one and two on a sale. I paid like $40 for it, and I am 7 hours in. So, something I really really want to I really want to speak on with Dragon Quest one and two. If you decide to pick it up, just please be forewarned uh, that you will only be playing with the hero. That's right. You won't have any other party members like you do in this game. You're only going to be soloing with your hero in one and two, or actually, excuse me, in one. I don't know about two yet because I haven't played two. Forgive me, I misspoke. But if you do plan on getting one and two, just know that in number one, it's only going to be solo dolo. That's it. Um, and for the Oh, and one of the other great reasons why I picked up one and two on the Switch as I did for uh, three is because if you purchase both games on the same console or the same system, you'll actually get bonus goodies in the next generation that you get. That was one of the deciding factors of me getting both games on the Switch. Okay, now that that's said and done, um, for one and two, right? Uh, it's a very very old game, right? They just remade it, and it still looks as just as good, and it plays just as good as three. But the difficulty level is like through the roof. So if you're not leveling your characters, and if you're skipping battles, that is not a smart move. You get a good item with one and two right off the bat, and you get a dog suit and it will carry you from level like 1 to let's say 12ish 13ish. But when you start fighting different monsters from different zones, they are going to out DPS you very badly, and you're not going to be able to keep up. So it's very, very important if you pick up one and two, just some good advice, over level your character so you don't have any issues. But guys, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. Please like, please subscribe, guys, and I greatly appreciate all that you guys do for this channel. You guys have a good one. Thank you. Peace.